We have officially, probably this time for good, lost Makara.
Yeah.
No, solamente con datos. No, Wi-Fi no, aquí.
No, okay.
Ajá, pero sí por señal.
Last time on Adventure Adrift, we had a beautiful spinnaker sail from Ippolito to Abreojos. Here, we braved huge waves getting to shore, endured a very wet and windy squall where we almost lost our stern anchor, and celebrated Christmas with some tasty food. Then, we set off for a 2-day sail to Bahía Santa Maria, arriving in the rain. Hey, we really hope you enjoy this video. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you do.
And leave us a comment below as well afterwards.
For sure, yeah. This. Pretty cool.
Today we're on Isla Magdalena.
Isla Magdalena, yep, in Bahía Santa Maria.
And it's one big island, right? That kind of goes all the way up.
Yeah, it goes miles and miles up, and eventually where the estuaries from Magdalena Bay output, I forget what it's called. Boca Soledad is where the island ends and it comes out, the estuaries come out.
And then the other side of this is all like mangroves, right?
Yeah.
Puerto San Carlos and Magdalena Bay and all that stuff's over there.
Found the little, like the little fish camp. Looks like all the fishermen are out right now. It's empty, but trying to figure out what they catch. We see some lobster pots around. Not sure. So we had no idea they did this here, but apparently they catch shark, and these are their fins. So it's like their dorsal fins and their side fins that they cut off and they send over to China and Korea.
Most of their lobster is for that same area.
We chatted with these fishermen and learned that the fins are shipped to Asia as we expected. However, the meat is actually eaten and used locally. We were very happy to hear that it wasn't wasted.
Big mozzies everywhere.
We're getting eaten up.
Behold the great mangroves of Uptum sand dunes, and mangroves where the men are beefy and the women are few. Groves of man. So right now, this...
It's like sunset.
I don't know if
and a double rainbow.
I've ever seen this rainbow goes completely across the horizon, and it's a double rainbow.
It is.
I can't quite capture this, but look at that. It's like encapsulating this, like, how does that even work? That's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is, very cool.
This is the sunset going down over in the west.
Awesome. The water looks really pretty. The light
It
on the
does.
water.
The color coming off this water here is incredible. And I just can't get a big enough lens to capture. It goes all the way over and there's just blue sky surrounding it.
Yeah.
We've got sushi coming up for dinner.
Sushi for dinner.
Pickling some ginger down below. Alright, it's getting a bit chilly now. We should go back down there. Beautiful though.
Bright, though.
Very beautiful, very bright. So we were up before the sun came up this morning to head into San Carlos.
Yeah. It's only line of sight across the bay here in the little sand spit. It's only 8 miles. But we have to go all the way down and back up, which makes it 40 miles.
40 miles today, so we want to get a start. We're running a bit late. But she's out of bed. That's a good start. And anyway, lots of things to do in the morning before we get going. Dishes are done. You cleaned up the camera. We've got the dinghy ready to go, so we're going to put that on board.
Yeah.
Hillary is up front, taking off the snubber and getting ready to pull in the anchor. We've got the spinnaker ready to go. So I'm going to start up the broom broom and we're going to head on out through this beautiful sunrise. Good. Alright.
Good.
So Hillary's just cooking some breakfast down below, something simple, some oatmeal. This is our morning. I don't know, see a lot of sunrises now, but they all seem just as pretty as the next. I don't think we'll ever get sick of it, I don't. But we're pretty slow right now. We're like not even 2 knots about it. We were 2 knots, now we're like 1.5 knots, something like that. Hillary was very rude last night. She used up the last of our fish. Isn't that right?
I did.
So actually it was delicious sushi. We just throw the line out till we catch a fish or two, and then we kind of done with it for a couple of days, because otherwise we just got too much fish on board and we don't know what to do with it all. We're already eating a couple of meals a day with it. So anyway, point is we're going to throw the fishing line out now. The other interesting thing is we're now down to 2.5 knots of wind, and we're barely making a knot. This is the place to catch the fish, but I don't know if we're going to catch much at this speed. Well, let's see, you never know. So look, we're not fishing people, but we're getting better. So we're going to use this, I think it's called a rapala, right? These are all called rapalas?
Yeah.
He's a bit, we probably should take better care of it somehow, I don't know. We spray him down with fresh water. But he's got the big spoon, which should work better at lower speeds. Pushing it for a knot, we'll see. But anyway, we're going to throw it out. You never know. What are you seeing out there, Hillary?
A couple humpback whales hanging out here.
Are we sure they're humpbacks?
We're not sure, but we think so.
Okay. I don't know, yeah.
But they came up, we've never seen them do this before. They came up to the surface and they're like laying on their side, and they have this big flipper that they're like flopping on the water.
How does he do it?
Like this.
Oh, okay. We need the proper demonstration.
And then he smacks the water.
Holy crap. It sounded like a missile going off.
There he goes. Coming into Porto San Carlos, we traveled through Magdalena Bay, which is a huge, although very shallow bay. There are many places here that are only a few feet deep, which means that it's important to stay within the marked channel, which travels in the shape of a letter N.
We're in town. It is New Year's Eve.
Noche Vieja.
It's New Year's Eve.
Tomorrow is Año Nuevo.
And we found an ice cream store for ice cream.
We're gonna go get some ice cream. We are gonna go, there's a port captain here in San Carlos, so we have to go give them our paperwork and have to pay a fee for the channel that we used yesterday.
It was a good channel actually by standards.
It was, yeah.
They were even lit up though.
It was very well marked and lit up, yep. So we just paid our fees. We kind of regretting we should have done it last night because the guy last night was really nice and friendly, and I feel like it's New Year's today. It's like the new guy or the guy that doesn't know much working today. But we paid, it ended up being a different fee than what we were told last night. We paid about 342 pesos, which is like 15 bucks About half of that is the fee for the channel. We paid 90 pesos was the fee for use the channel, and then it was 120 pesos a night to anchor here. We were charged by our tonnage when we checked in, but later found out that as we were a sailboat, the anchorage fee was only a flat 20 pesos per day. We had last filled up our fuel tanks in San Diego about 2 months ago, and after a bit of motoring the past few months and a convenient place to refill, we figured it would be a good idea to top up the tanks and rotate the fuel in our jerry cans. What, they're 5 gallons?
5 gallons.
So it's only 10 gallons. We walked up to the diesel station, which was right on the dock. But before we filled up, we had to take a ride over to the office to pay.
We have officially, probably this time for good, lost Makara.
Yeah. When we awoke in the morning, we were surprised to find that our dinghy was not floating off the back where we had left her. We quickly learned that the dinghy had also gone missing from one of the other sailboats anchored near us. We headed into town to talk with the officials. We were very disappointed with what had happened, but reminded ourselves that this sort of thing can happen anywhere. We had overcome having our dinghy and oars stolen on 2 separate occasions in the US, and would figure something out here as well. After making a report with the port captain, we went over to the police station. They were incredibly helpful there. We met the local detectives and commandant, who tried their best to help us out.
Yeah, they spent the whole day with us, looking around in the pangas, trying to see if anything had been stashed in the mangroves.
Ty and Ken, our friend from the other boat in the anchorage, headed out with the police. They were on a mission aboard a local panga to go search the mangroves and see if they could find the dinghies stashed away somewhere. They got a very interesting tour of the bay and even received a gift of some chocolates, which are a large local clam from some of the local fishermen. So it's the next morning, still no Makara.
So it looks like she was taken and she will not be coming back. But
No.
maybe.
Maybe. We're gonna head up to Mangroves for a few days with Larky right behind us there. Super nice Canadian family that we met and has been helping us out. And we're gonna head up and hang out in the mangroves for a week or so and see if anything's turned up by the time we return.
Obviously without them we wouldn't be able to get to shore because we used their dinghy, and I think they're going to loan us one of their dinghies too, which is awfully bloody nice.
Very nice.
They got a little extra hard-sided.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we're going to head up to Mangroves and chill out there for a bit.
Yeah, it's supposed to be beautiful up there.
Yeah, the weather's gotten better.
Our friends on Larky got some great footage of us sailing, heading up the mangroves to take our minds off the lost dinghy. The mangroves north of San Carlos in Magdalena Bay are uncharted, but incredibly beautiful. With Google Earth images as our charts, we headed off, trying to follow the deep channels and avoid the sandbanks.
So Hillary, do you remember that one time we hit a sandbar?
At one time?
That one time?
When I was right here and all of a sudden I went, ugh!
That just happened. Yep, we ran aground on the way to the mangroves because we weren't watching, which is what I'm going back to doing.
Be sure to look out for our next episode. We'll talk a bit more about our grounding there.
Okay, go ahead and drop here.
Think that's good?
That's pretty good?
Yep.
So we're about to take off and do some spearfishing.
Yeah.
We've got 2 iron slings that we're going to play with. And see what we can catch out there.
Yep.
Gonna go out in our friend's dinghy. Some small flippers.
And hang out right by the mangroves.
Yeah, it'll be a nice relief after our grounding this morning.
We didn't have any luck spearfishing, but we had a lovely bonfire on the beach, where we cooked up the chocolate clams that we had gotten from the local fishermen.